And we are live. You know, I used to be very nervous saying that, but so far, knock on wood, StreamYard has not let me down when it says we're live. We're actually live. So hopefully all good. Now we got lots of people here already, Dan and Taylor, who are both from WP Extended. I see are here in the comments already. Gordon, good to see you here.
Taylor's dad. How awesome is that?
Tony's here. Elijah's here. Stratos is here. Good to see lots of people in the house. Hopefully all the YouTube notifications are going out and we will get the show on the road. I guess just to preface this before we jump in and get on it, goal of today is just kind of go through this plugin and see what it does. Essentially, Dan is a super good dude. He's been a part of the admin bar for a long time. I love supporting good people. I really hadn't spent much time looking at this plugin, but I went back and took another look and I'm like, you know what, this is pretty cool. I should probably just do some content on this and see what happens. So I haven't spent much time with it yet. So the goal of today is just to like explore what it has to offer, see what we think of it, see how we could actually use it in a real life use case. I brought Jonathan on here with me because two heads are better than one, I believe. It's debatable when it's his head and my head, but I think we'll both have some different perspectives here on like things we might find useful or how we might be able to use this in our own client work, our own websites and things like that. So hopefully it'll be fun, entertaining. We'll go through all the modules and just press buttons and see what they do. Like I said, folks from WP Extended are here in the chat. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I probably can't answer them, but I'm sure that they will. And there's also a coupon code that they've given us that's inside the video description there. I don't know. It's written inside the description, but it'll give you 30% off of any of the WP Extended plans. Not an affiliate. I paid for my own license, all those disclaimers there. I'm just doing it because I want to check it out. So did I miss anything?
I think you pretty well covered it. You're a master at this by now.
Excellent. I didn't even breathe through the entire thing, I don't think.
2 minutes straight.
Well, sweet. Well, we got folks waiting, so let's get on with it. I guess for anybody who hasn't interfaced with you yet, Jonathan, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do in the WordPress world?
Hello. Great to be back on your channel yet again. My name, of course, is Jonathan Jernigan. I have a YouTube channel that's also my name. These days, I spend a lot of time building heavily custom websites for my clients. Do a lot of dashboard type, private portal type membership websites. I use GeneratePress and GenerateBlocks to do that, along with the fantastic block visibility plugin. So that's typically what I spend my time doing. And of course, my YouTube tutorials cover all kinds of different things in the agency WordPress kind of world, from security and plugins and those kinds of things. And I've created a couple courses as well. So definitely, and I'm glad to be back on your channel.
Heck yeah, dude. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. We'll see if we can add that. Boom, just like that, like pros. There's a few different options here, maybe. I wonder if any of these like that. That's going to cover up the screen. We better go with that. Chat, just yell at me if we're in the way of anything or if I need to make my screen bigger, and I will try to keep an eye on that. I figured we'd start here, Jonathan, by just taking a quick look at the website. Everybody can go to it themselves, wpextended.com or .io, excuse me. The Swiss Army knife of WordPress plugins. Kind of the way I thought about this was like, here's a bunch of things we just kind of wish WordPress did out of the box. And this plugin gives, extends WordPress to have all those functionalities, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's appealing to me is just from a quick glance, I've actually intentionally, prior to today, not loaded the plugin a single time. But the thing that's appealing to me is there's a lot of tiny little pieces of functionality that either you'd need a whole separate plugin for, or in my case, sometimes like hiding the admin bar, you add a custom function, or sometimes display none in the admin bar even, you could potentially do that. Sure. So there's a lot of small things, as well as there's some major components we'll cover as well that seem of interest for sure. Consolidating everything in one place, especially all those little tweaks, I think is going to be nice.
Absolutely. And I'm going to guess, now I did take a peek at some of these just so I wanted to set up some like scenarios for us. So I have some custom post types installed and some users and things like that. So I looked at some of these things here, but what I'm guessing is like, I've needed to do a dozen or more of the things that this plugin does over the course of building websites. And I've installed a dozen or more plugins to do each one of these individual things. Now, when you look at something like this plugin will allow you to add code snippets. Every plugin allows you to add code snippets now. I feel like you can put them in your GeneratePress elements if you're using GeneratePress. You can, my clients will go download header and footer code or whatever that plugin is. You can put them inside the child theme. There's like 50,000 places to put code snippets. Or you could, get one of the like premium code snippet plugins, which I imagine is probably more full featured than what you'd find in here. My guess is we're going to find like things that are more like the light version than when there's a dedicated plugin that does that one thing, right? But sometimes I think that's probably fine. Like often I'll need some kind of plugin to do one little thing, but I have to buy this big plugin that does a million things that I don't need. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that will be helpful to just kind of figure out where it's at on all these.
Definitely.
So yeah, so you can take a look through all this list. We're going to go through, I think, all of them that we can inside the plugin. So I won't bore everybody with that right now. There's some that we won't be able to test, but we'll just try to go through all of them. Pricing, that's it's probably of interest to everyone too. There is a free one, so you can go to the WordPress repo, search for WP Extended. You can download the free version. We're going to be using the pro version today. I'm not going to do distinction between what's free and what's pro unless it shows me in the back end, and I don't think it does. We're using the pro version. It's very affordable. For the annual plans, $15 for one site, $79 for 50 sites, $125 for unlimited sites, or you can go with lifetime plans. And those are your prices there, $49, $199, and $449. So definitely affordable if this floats your boat. And we got lots of good testimonials here as well. So anything I'm missing on the website, or should we just dive in and start demoing this?
Let's jump in.
Excellent. All right. So I set up just a kind of a demo WordPress install here. Like I said, I put a couple things in place, like a little custom post here because we have a post type switcher. I added some users and things like that so we can play around with that. But let's just go in order. So this is the settings page. You can go in here. Let's see. Tools. You can export and import your settings, which I bet would be very helpful. Like if you want to tweak WordPress the way you want it, to be able to export that into other sites would be really handy. You put in your license. You can delete all the data when you remove it. And then here is all your modules where you turn all this on and off. So I'm assuming if you don't turn it on, it's not going to load anything on the website or anything. I think that's probably a fear people have with stuff like this is like, is it going to load a bunch of unnecessary junk? My guess is if you have these turned off, it's not going to load anything.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of the modules are back-end related. So maybe you'll make your own experience slower, but hopefully not your front-end users. And like you said, most of these things are probably not affected unless you actually add it anyway.
Yeah. All right. First one here, admin columns. So I know there's a popular plugin to do this, to change kind of what shows. Let's show everybody. You've used one of these plugins before, right?
I'm a huge fan. Yeah. So I'm really keen on this one.
Okay. So when you go to your posts or pages, you have all these columns here. Here's title, author, categories, tags. You can go up to screen options. Everybody misses that link. So if you're seeing that for the first time, you can turn some of these things off if you don't want them. And there might be some things turned off that you could turn on and they will add them, but you're pretty limited to what you can do there. So there's a plugin that it's Admin Columns Pro, something like that. What's it called?
There's Admin Columns, and then there's the Admin Columns Pro.
Okay. So yeah, so that does what I'm assuming we're about to see this do. So let's go back here to our settings, go to modules, and I'm sure everybody's cringing, or the people from WP Extended are cringing watching me do this. So this looks fairly familiar to the way that other plugin works, where you can turn these things on and off. You can add new columns. So here we could, we'll just call this Kyle so we know exactly what it is. There's not really anything for us to add here, unfortunately.
Switch your post type real quick from media to something else.
I didn't realize I was in media. There we go. Posts.
Media is kind of a weird default.
Yeah, that is weird default. All right, let's just see what we got here. We'll just put Kyle. So here, file size. Maybe that's interesting. Post format, post tag, category. Let's see. Let's see what file size does, unless you have something else you want to test.
No, I mean, what I use the Admin Columns Pro specifically for is putting ACF field values in the admin columns. So whether it be for posts or users, both of those cases, many times I've added those in. Oh, maybe it doesn't show up because there's no ACF. Okay, that was curious.
Yeah. So let's just say, we'll just say demo field. It'll be a text. I don't know what we call it. We'll just call it label. We're just making shit up. So we'll say if this post type is equal to post.
Perfect.
Cool. We'll go in here to our posts. We'll open this one up and we'll give the label. We'll call it JJ or Jonathan so we can actually see it. Jonathan. Boom. There we go. So let's see if that works. We'll go back in here to our WP Extended settings. Modules, configure. Maybe there's a quicker way to get to that, but post, we're still on post. Okay. So let's see. Post format, are we seeing it? Label, there's the one we added.
Cool.
I should probably gave that a better name, but we'll just change this to label. And we'll hit apply. We see that this is turned on here. So now we'll save our changes. And if we go to post, all posts, we can see here's our label that we created right here.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's pretty cool, because there are definitely cases where like honestly on here, on a lot of blogs or like, you know, yeah, on the post section of a lot of installs, I don't really need to know who the author is, because the author's the same on all the posts, right? So we could turn a lot of those things off and make it cleaner, and then add the things that are actually important. So that worked exactly like I expected it to. Is there anything else in the Admin Columns Pro type plugin that's cool that you want to see if this does it?
Yeah, the one thing that's super awesome is the ability to inline edit any of the columns that you add without loading into the post. So I know for a fact that's a pro feature.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear. I didn't see any setting for that, but that would be super killer.
So like if you wanted to change this label, you wouldn't have to go into the post. You could just change it right here.
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And you can enable that for basically anything. So it could be any of the default stuff like title, category, date, you know, or any of your custom fields as well.
Look at that.
There it is. Already. Cool. That'll be great.
Sweet.
So one other thing with this, I had a PyCalendar support ticket of somebody who was using, I believe it was WP Extended, if I'm not mistaken. They were using it to add their PyCalendar start date and time to the inline field right here, which I thought was a really cool idea. So then they could kind of see from the back end, you know, what was set.
Right.
But what we needed to do was reformat the way that it was displayed, because by default, it's kind of not really a human readable date format. Admin Columns Pro gives you a little hook. So I was able to write them just a simple custom function to just make it, you know, more human readable. But from what I recall, unless I'm mistaken, there was no hook for me to kind of tap into that with WP Extended. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was one other small thing that I noticed, that if we can do that, that would be killer.
Well, I know just the person you can talk to.
Yeah, me too. Mr. Drayson.
All right, sweet. Cool. Next one in here is Admin Customizer. Update the admin colors and icons to suit your preferences. I have definitely bought a plugin to do this and like tweaked it all out perfect, and then just decided it was a huge pain in the ass to keep up with and stopped doing it.
I never ever touch this at all.
No?
Like any kind of admin customizer, I'm just like, stock is fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Let's see what we can do here. We'll upload a files. I think I got, that's an SVG. Okay, we'll just upload this giant image for our logo. And look, it's showing right up there in the corner. You probably cannot see it.
Nice.
But, oh, too big. There it is, right there. Excellent. So that's easy enough if you need to change that logo out. Body color. See, things like this are hard because this will probably work good in all the native, like people that are just using default WordPress styling, right? But so many plugins now customize what their plugin pages look like. So if you put this to teal or whatever we're doing now, you might screw some things up, man. I just hate that I'm going to make this look terrible. But yeah, I guess we'll just make it look terrible to play with it. Admin bar color. So there we go. Well, if we're going to use the admin bar color, then we got to go with FEC 200, which is actually the admin bar's color. We'll go with just black for text. Looky there.
There we go.
Bar has been colored. Admin bar icons color.
Oh, you can override them.
That's cool.
Oh, well, so like it's interesting because the Yoast icon, for example, is not changing. So that's But see,
wonder if it has to do with like they just use like current color, or there's like a variable or something for those colors, and if other people are using like a hard-coded color in their logo.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting that when you hovered over, what was that? The Yoast drop down, the link colors. Maybe again, that's a Yoast thing that's being overwritten.
Yeah, I hadn't got to like all those. Oh, this is admin bar text color, but not admin bar drop down.
Interesting.
Okay. Hide admin bar logo. That got rid of the little logo we added. Hide icons. Didn't hide Yoast, huh? Hide updates item. We don't have any updates, so I'm guessing. Wait We have these little ones, but maybe that's like plugin and theme updates. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be the core stuff.
Hide customize item. Oh, probably from the admin bar, because we're dealing with the admin bar with all this, not
Yeah.
here. Okay. Hide comments item. So that was right up there.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. Hide new item in case you don't want to add a new thing from there.
I'm curious with the new hiding the new. I'm really keen later when we see the search function that it has, how that kind of ties in. I do occasionally use that new button.
Yeah, every once in a while. All right, so our sidebar, let's make this just as ugly as we can, I guess. Go with pink. Sidebar text color. Let's go green. All working so far. God, this is not accessible. Yellow looks pretty badass, though. Selected menu item. Okay, we can't see that right now, probably. Let's try.
Ooh, that looks beautiful, dude. Nice job.
Killing it. How do we get back? Here we go. Sidebar. Selected menu text color. I guess we'll just leave that white. Hovered menu item color. Hovered menu item color. Naming things is so hard. Okay, so that's when you hover over it. That's exactly what it says. Cool. Hovered menu text color. Well, since I made that teal, let's go with black. Oh yeah, this is getting good. Sidebar icons color.
This is truly a work of art.
This is great. See, why wouldn't you want to do this? But I could see, like, if I wanted to go in here with like all my agency's brand colors and actually brand all this out, you could probably. I hate the WordPress like actual colors you get from their color system. So hide icons. Actually, I don't hate that.
That's funny. I actually severely dislike it.
Look, we can make it smaller.
I mean, actually, it being more compact like that would be nice because you know, when you're in the block editor, by default that left-hand panel right there is hidden. I would actually like it to be extended a lot of times, but it takes up way too much space. So you could hide the icons and make it super tight, and maybe it would fit nicer.
Login page. I actually do customize my login page. I have a snippet of code inside of. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to do this in a private window. I have a snippet of code inside my child theme for all the login page. Let's see. Trying to think of what login page we could look at. Copilot. Yeah, so that's what mine looks like. It's just kind of a tweaked version of the normal one, but it's a little bit more modern looking.
That's one that I used to use a separate plugin for, then switch to a custom function. So if I was able to do it in here super easily, that would be nice.
Right. All right, so we need a logo. Let's just go with the theme, and we'll use that same one. Button text color. I think purple's appropriate. Button background color. Now we better go with something pretty light. All right, body color. I think we got to go extravagant there, right? And then text color, let's just go black. We'll save that. We'll bring it back. We'll refresh. Okay.
It's stunning. Absolutely
it did
stunning.
what it said on the tin, right?
Yep.
So I think the thing I liked about my little login page was like softening these edges, and it's got a little box shadow. So we don't have quite all those capabilities here, but at least if you wanted to rebrand it, you can do, like I said earlier, kind of like the light version of being able to do all these things. So
simple enough. Yeah.
I could definitely see using this to like brand it to all my agency stuff one time, make it look the way I want, and then just import that into all my client sites. Now the question is, okay, we're just gonna have to turn this off because I've obviously screwed it up. So, okay, back to normal. We finished that one, right?
Looks good.
All right, duplicate menu. Seamlessly clone your WordPress menus in just a couple clicks.
Not sure I understand the benefit of this. I've never had to do this.
So I'm guessing if you have a menu, right, a primary menu, and it has a bunch of items in it, and you need to make like a variation of it, you just have to rebuild it from scratch.
Yeah, and I guess you could in GeneratePress use the hook. There's a hook to dictate which menu to show, like if they're logged in or something like that. So maybe that's where it would be beneficial.
Yeah. All right, so I have just a simple menu here, home and sample page. It's my primary menu. Let's go back to WP Extended modules. Here we go. We'll just call this clone. We'll hit duplicate menu. And looky there.
Done.
Okay, well, I don't have a huge use case for that, but it seems to do what we needed it to do.
Mark's comment is really funny. He said, when we had the terrible admin panel, this is what the Ling's Cars admin panel looks like. You're totally right. It's so fun.
I am for hire. If anybody needs any design work done, I am definitely showing off my skills today.
Kyle's design skills are on both ends of the spectrum. He can make it look absolutely god awful or incredible.
You got to know what you're doing to be able to break the rules. You know what I mean? All right. Code snippets. So this is one we kind of touched on earlier. This one does have a beta tag next to it. Let's hit configure. All right. So we haven't set any code snippets yet. Let's add new. We have the type for PHP, JavaScript, or CSS. So that's cool. We'll just add CSS because I can't write any of the others. So we got a title, CSS title. This is going to hide Jonathan. And so we can do .Jonathan display none important. Excellent. So we can display this in the head or in the footer. I'm guessing now it's saved but not being used. And if we enable it, now it's going to be used. Seems simple enough.
Yep. Go to one of the other ones like for PHP and CSS, or I mean JS, just to see. Like PHP snippets are pretty common.
Same screen essentially, but it's got the opening PHP tag.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Back to snippets. So yeah, I mean, yeah, seems fine. I'm trying to think in like the code snippets plugin. I bought the pro one when they finally came out with the pro version, and it did something that I like. Oh, you can turn it on if it just operates in the back end or if it operates in the front end, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So you could do tweaks to back end stuff.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because, well, actually exactly from this comment, like the existing code plugins can do so much, but there's also 10 million of them, like you already touched on at the beginning. Like I had a case where I specifically told a client that, funny enough, I actually added their Google Tag Manager code inside of Perf Matters because Perf Matters can also do this too.
Yeah.
And I come back in. Yeah, I come back in, and the other agency added a header footer plugin and put the same thing inside of there, so it was on the site twice. I'm like, oh my god, come on. So
maybe what you guys need is a module that disables all the code snippet modules in every plugin. There you go. That might actually be pretty handy.
Definitely.
I mean, as far as the way this one functions, I think it's fine. I just probably don't need it. Let's see. Duplicating menu modules is a common need, especially when experimenting with changes or ensuring consistency across the site. Yeah, I could see that if you're testing things out. So good it's there, and it seemed to work. That's another one of those things that seems like, why wouldn't WordPress just have a button to duplicate? But you can't duplicate pages and posts out of the box either. So
yeah.
All right, are we done with code snippets?
Yep.
Pixel Tag Manager. I'm also never going to need this, but look, we have Google Analytics, Pixel, and Pinterest. Seems simple enough.
Pretty much does what it says on the tin.
All right, we're done with that one. Indexing notice. Displays an admin bar notice on the top right corner if you have the discouraged. Okay, cool. Indexing notice activated. That's just our little notice there. Look, search engines discouraged. I think some of the SEO plugins do this too. I want to say, I don't remember, maybe SEO Press, it puts like a little red box in the admin bar that says like no index is on. Yeah, and I think actually you installed just for testing purposes Yoast on this site, and there's a big red banner on the dashboard page, but it's actually referring to the robots, which might be a InstaWP thing. Interesting. Well, hey, none of us have ever took a site live and forgot to untick the discouraged search engine box. Of course not. So that's probably not useful to anybody watching this because we would never make that mistake. All right, rollback manager. Revert to previous versions of any theme or plugin from WordPress.org. So that's definitely handy because I've done that many, many times. Now, 6.6 that's coming out has some kind of rollback feature, but I think it's more like if you have auto updates on and your site auto updates and crashes, it can automatically roll back. I don't know that it's like just a rollback button. If anybody knows that for sure, let me know. What happens when you click that? Let's see. ACF, roll back. Oh, cool. Dude, that is epic.
That's really cool because I don't think people know this. We've had people reach out in PyCalendar support asking for older versions, but you can download all of those directly from the repo of any plugin.
Yeah.
But it's just hidden away. It's under like advanced and then developer and then it's down. But this just ties into that. That's really cool.
That's great. This feels like another, like, this should just be part of core. You should be able to roll back to other versions.
Does it work with GeneratePress free?
I would imagine so. It said anything from the repo. So let's, oh shit. I purposely added some plugins that add menu, like little notification nags, and
yeah.
I want to close them so badly. It's driving me nuts.
Try the GeneratePress theme instead of the
Oh,
plugin.
you were saying the theme. Gotcha. Well, now we're going to try blocks too, because I've already half installed it and I don't want to look like a fool now. So cool. That would work. Got it.
Sweet.
All right. Themes. Because I did install, I think some of this stuff was kind of like classic theme dependent, and I didn't have a classic theme in here. So let's see. Rollback.
Very cool.
And one day.
Oh, I didn't even know you clicked it. I thought you were waiting.
It's thinking. I don't know what I've done.
You made this website very mad.
I guess so. Talking shit. Well, I don't think it's the plugin, but look, 6.6 is available. Did we just literally get the new 6.6 rollout right here live on the live stream?
I think we did. Oh yeah, the staging site is slow on my end too.
I feel like we gotta update it to 6.6 now, but that introduces lots more variables. Maybe I don't do that. All right, rollback. Yeah, super slow on my end.
So weird.
I don't know if it's InstaWP or what's going on.
Every single InstaWP user just updated to 6.6 and they're bogging down. Freaking out.
All right, let's make a note and come back to that because I don't want to waste time seeing something load if it's just InstaWP being slow. SMTP email. So I use Postmark for this. They have a dedicated plugin. I'm probably not switching away from that, but let's see. We can put in a from name, a from email, the host, the port, the encryption type, the username, the password.
Yeah, this is interesting because my current host is GridPane and they tie into SendGrid, and the API key is kind of at your server level, so you don't have to do any config on the site itself, which is nice. So I don't personally have a use for this, but one thing I would be curious about is the from name. I still will use a custom function sometimes to override that. So I wonder if you could do none of the other stuff, but still use the from name.
That's a good question.
And email logging is also interesting.
Yeah. I know the Postmark one does that, and I will often have to go, like if a client says I'm not getting emails or whatever, well, I can go back through the log and see.
Yeah. SendGrid's like website you can do, but it's a pain in the ass to go through. So this would be really nice.
Yeah. I know when I had Mark from WS Forms on, when we did that SMTP thing, I want to say he said maybe not to turn that logging on. I'm guessing maybe it's just a bunch of shit in the database. I don't know. But I feel like he told me he probably didn't want to turn that on, but I have it on because I don't listen to Mark. All right. Anything we want to add to email, or are we good on that one?
Good for me.
All right. Quick search.
This one I'm stoked about.
The easy way to navigate around your WordPress website. So we'll turn that on.
Will you drop that message off the screen? On StreamYard?
Oh, yeah, sorry. There we go. Hidden. Okay, so now we have a search bar inside of the admin bar up here. What do we want to search for?
I was wondering if it would get you all the way to like a GeneratePress element. I don't know if you have GP Premium on there, but
I don't. But I probably have it
in your downloads.
In my downloads, easy to get. GP Premium.
I saw my own face in your downloads folder. That's creepy.
Because I had to make the thumbnail for this video.
Sure.
All right, so GeneratePress. Let's turn on elements, activate it. We'll refresh just to give it benefit of the doubt. We'll say elements. Nada. I wonder if we need to create an element, if that would make a difference.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it'll get you to the actual element itself.
JJ's element. Publish it. Oh man, I hit the logo and now I can't get out of here.
Oh, interesting.
Like I usually click the logo to get out. How do
Me
you get out
too.
now?
I guess you'd have to add the sidebar back in that case.
That's weird. JJ. Nope, nothing there. So permalinks. No. No. Pages. What
Is
else?
there a configuration for what it searches?
Let's see. Modules.
Oh,
No,
no.
no config on that.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess maybe if you have tons of pages, obviously we don't have tons of pages and posts here. Hello world. We can find that. If we click on it, takes us right into the editor. Hey, look, the post or the WordPress logo is showing up here.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's curious. I would expect that it would search basically anything on the site.
Yeah, I don't know what else to test on that one. If anybody's got any ideas in the comments here, let's see. WP Extended says it searches pages, posts, products, etc. We are looking to extend into other plugins. Excellent. Okay.
So I've never actually used the WordPress command palette because that's part of the like FSE side, right?
Yeah, I thought it was Command K. I've literally never used it.
Yeah, that's what I was curious, but I think the command palette can get you almost anywhere.
Editor command palette.
Oh, is it inside the block editor?
So maybe not just anywhere. Oh, it says visit your dashboard. Oh, into editor. Yeah, block themes or any page or post, all themes.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
so we're in a post. But if you want to search, you got to go into a post and then you can search.
Well, does it
element?
Oh, okay. So it can't do that either.
It can't do that either. So
okay, we'll make the WP extended search get you anywhere, and then it'll be badass.
Yeah, then it'll be better than core. All right, on to the next. Block usernames. Prevent the use of admin as a username, reducing risk of targeted attacks. So a lot of security plugins will do this. I think I'm sure everybody could see here, but you can go through these by like category. We're just on all categories. I imagine this block usernames is a security feature. Let's see.
Oh, just like a list of usernames?
Maybe. Doesn't give me any instructions. Kyle. John, I comma separated it.
Okay.
Comma. Probably some instructions there, y'all, because I'm just smart and figured it out, but most people aren't that smart. So let's see what happens. Kyle at Ogo. I think I already got that in there. adminbar.com. I'll just well, it let me use Kyle as a username.
Maybe because you're in the admin panel? That's weird.
I don't know. Maybe just if people are like registering, prevent use of admin as a username, reducing risk of targeted attacks.
Oh, that's confusing.
Admin. But why we added things in here, I figured those things would get blocked too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Admin.
I'm surprised this isn't actually just a standard WordPress core one that's blocked.
It also let me use admin. Y'all have to help me out with that one because I don't understand what that one's doing.
The WP extended team is now crying in a corner.
I know. Sorry, y'all. Custom login URL.
All right. So curious.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Question on this one. I see people do this, and then there's debate about whether it actually has any positive impact on security. Do you know more than I do on this front because of your security weekly?
I've heard arguments on both sides of it. So one, I think for moving it is just for like the dumb bots that are just going to hit the login page, right? But I think a lot of people are using Cloudflare or something like that can protect that other ways before it ever hits your server, right? Because if you block that at the Cloudflare level, it's never actually going to get to your server to hit all this. But from what I understand, like anything sophisticated enough is going to know how to get into WordPress without having to go to like /log or /wp-admin.
Yeah. Still handy though if you wanted to change it to like /client login or whatever.
Let's do it. Client login. Redirect URL. The full page URL where the user is redirected if accessing WP admin directly. Let's take them to the admin bar. All right, so we'll go ahead and save the changes on that. I'm going to grab this. Actually, we'll just grab WP admin and we'll go to private window. This should forward us to the admin bar, right? It's thinking. Did not. Oh, it added it to the end of it. So that's just me being a jackass. But it did say the full URL, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The full page URL. So if I would have put whatever this URL is, it would have just added it to the end, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So y'all might want to check on that.
What would be really nice here is if when you've set a custom login URL, like /client login, in my case, like I mentioned, I build a lot of, you know, private membership type websites. If you put /login or client login, I would want it to send them to the dashboard page, not to, well, I should clarify, to the front end page I've called dashboard, not the actual WP admin dashboard. So if you could set multiple in there, that would be pretty dope.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, let's see what happens if I just put, like, I don't know. I know we have hello world.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just expecting the relative URL instead of absolute.
Yeah, I don't know. No, same thing. It's putting it in there again.
Taylor, add a little conditional check for us, buddy.
No. There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't want the full URL. You just want the slug in here. All right. We are getting notice that we should have made the user role an admin. Then you can see notice and configure panel. So let's go back to our admin one. Admin. I did just make them a subscriber. So let's make admin. We'll hit update user. But now he's already in there and it can't be changed.
Maybe that's why. Yeah.
I wonder if we delete them. Can we add a new one? Admin at overweb.com. Administrator. Did I leave it off?
No.
I don't know, y'all. I'm doing something wrong.
Not sure.
All right. Bernardo says, by simply changing the URL login, you avoid 99% of the hacking attempts.
Or just institute a Cloudflare managed challenge for that page and you probably reduce it even further.
Yeah, I mean, but there was the big hack, what, last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever. It was like they hacked plugin authors and put it into the plugin updates. And it was just if you updated your site, it was hacked. So
yeah.
All right, debug mode. Enable debug mode easily to troubleshoot and resolve issues, providing detailed error logs and warnings for developers. And we can turn that on, but I don't know how I can just F something up unless somebody wants to give me some jacked up PHP that will ruin my site. Go to configure page. I guess we're going back to, I think he's still talking about block usernames. Go to configure page.
I guess because admin is not in there, even though it says in the description that it blocks admin.
Yeah, I don't want to get hung up on that too long.
No, that's not a big one.
Maybe just explain in more detail in the comments because it's hard for me to go back and forth with the delay and everything.
So debug mode is interesting for me because I right now I'm kind of the one handling the PyCalendar support tickets, and occasionally we get stuff in from people that are like, "Hey, drop PyCalendar short code on an Elementor page, and it just completely detonated my site." And you know, typically people are not comfortable enough to go into WP config and turn WP debug on. So this would be really helpful. Like if I log into somebody's site, I drop this on, switch it on, see the error log, and then, you know, that gives me enough to fix. So that's definitely interesting. The question is where it would actually report, because, you know, normally it's just going to drop it on that page on the front end.
Right.
So is that just modifying the WP config file when you switch it on?
It's a good question. Maybe they can answer in the comments. I don't know how we can test this here. Do you have an idea?
Maybe I can get ChatGPT in a separate window to write us a function that will break a page.
The website.
Here we can. I'll create a function I can send to you, and then you can drop
we can unbrick it though, because I don't want to have to spin up another site.
Oh, true.
If we don't have to.
Well, if I understand the idea, it would just essentially enable WP debug for you. Do you have the ability with InstaWP to see the WP config file? See if it modified that for you?
Maybe, but I hadn't like prepared to pull all that up.
No, you don't have to do that on your screen. I was just curious if that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I figure this is one that hopefully they'll be able to answer us in the chat, like what this actually does without us having to be able to test it. Shall we move on then? Shall we move on then?
Sure.
User enumeration secures against hackers scanning for usernames, blocking user enumeration attempts. Don't know.
No idea what that means. Some of those words I know.
Yep. I'm just proud if I pronounced that correctly, to be honest.
Enumeration.
I said it very confidently. So, all right. Disable XML RPC. This is another one that I see like inside of security plugins, inside of Perf Matters, I think has this in there. But
Troy's firewall rules that he shared in the admin bar include a managed challenge for that particular URL. So it's like everything and their mother does this already, it seems.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, with some of these things, what like almost everybody's doing some kind of security thing, right? So are we going to always have some kind of overlap here or not?
Yeah. And is there any potential conflict? Like if two different plugins tried to hide WP version, which is next, is there a problem there?
I'm going to guess not on that one, but maybe on other ones.
It's possible, certainly.
This is showing Git version 6.6. Is that because there's an update available? So let's see. We'll try to turn on hide WP version, refresh.
I think that's the front end one that's added in like an HTML comment. Right?
Maybe.
I'll check real quick. 6 point. Oh, there's so many things that have version blah, blah, blah on the front end. Unrelated. I think there's like an inline tag, but I mean, this is another one of those things that I feel like all you have to do is just look at like a style sheet and it just says /WP includes. So it's like, there's still clues there. If you really want to get rid of it, I'm sure you can, but does it actually make that big of a difference?
I can't answer that confidently. All right. Hide admin notices. I've never used one of these hide admin notices plugins. I know they exist, like all these nags and stuff. You can hide them. They're like paid plugins, I think, to do this, but I've never used one. Have you?
No.
All right. So we definitely have this like first time SEO configuration for Yoast. We also have Yoast here talking about blocking robots, which might not be actually like a one you want to get rid of. But I want to say if we go into the plugin screen, here we have this opt-in monster one. So we have a couple here. So let's turn this on.
Have you seen that the opt-in monster little one icon jiggles around too? How annoying is that? Good Lord.
So I asked a group of people like, what plugins can I install to get a bunch of like admin notices? And I had some funny response. Basically anything awesome motive, just install that and you'll have admin notices.
Yep.
All right, there we go. Turned it on. Oh, we have to configure it here. Okay, so administrator, which I am. Let's just say plugin theme core. All.
So this is hiding those notifications for these user roles.
Okay. So use case, we might want to like hide them for everybody else, but still have access to them. But I can't test that yet because I can't switch between these users. So let's just turn it off and see what happens.
Change. Oh, yeah, that works.
We'll hit all, save changes. I don't know if it saved. There it did. Dashboard. Look, it's gone.
Even go to the plugin page?
Huh?
Go to the plugin page too? Cool.
Gone. I mean, that's
beautiful. Oh, and look, it made the red icon next to opt-in monster go away too. That's awesome.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little one.
I think too.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to turn this off for a second because later we'll be able to switch users. I believe that's one of the things we can do. And we'll come back and try it for one of the other users. That'll be one of the things we can test.
Cool.
All right. Login attempts. Prevent brute force attacks by limiting the number of login attempts. Most of your security plugins are going to do that too, I imagine. So We can limit the number of attempts and the lockout time. I'm not going to test that on this stream because I'd rather not lock myself out of this.
That's handy though. I'm not sure I use any other plugin that has that built in automatically.
All right, maintenance mode. Switch your site to maintenance mode for updates or changes. Now, I don't really do this a ton, except I actually built a plugin with ChatGPT. The one time I've built a real plugin, and it's for like when I'm doing development sites for clients. So it allows me to like pick a URL on the site to show to any logged out user. And if they try to go to any other page, it just redirects them to that. But once they log in, they can see the site like normal, right? So I've set that up for like when I'm doing development stuff and I don't want people to see the actual site. So let's see what we do here. Lots more options here. Okay,
wow,
so
cool.
Select which mode, ensuring the correct redirect type is in place. Disabled, coming soon, or maintenance.
What's
Layout
the
options.
difference?
Do what?
What's the difference between coming soon and maintenance?
It's a good question. I mean, it says ensuring the correct redirect type. So I'm guessing they're two different redirect types, but I don't know.
Isn't a 301 temporary? Or I mean 302, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Watch us Google things live. Successful. No, not
Standard. Oh, interesting.
I don't know. Maybe they can answer that in the chat too. Server response code. That's why. Server response code. Server response code.
I think it's still success. Yeah.
Indicates that this request is exceeded.
I guess rather than your homepage having a 301 on it and Google being like, well, I guess that's no longer valid.
Yeah. All right. Layout options. Choose either an existing page, like is what I wanted to do, or use the layout options available. So we can do existing page and we could pick our privacy policy page. Let's see what that does. Authentication status. Select which roles can access the website. So if you're logged in or certain roles. That's cool.
That's handy.
So let's just say redirect them to the privacy page if they're not logged in. So we'll go here. We'll copy that. We'll go to a private window. I notice these redirect. Oh, that's.
Oh, because that page isn't published.
Isn't published. It's not. I picked the one page that isn't published.
You had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. All right, there we go. If I go to the home page, it redirects me to the privacy policy page, which is
cool.
what we asked. All right, let's see. Let's go back to our settings then. Maintenance mode. All right, so, or we could pick a layout, and it looks like it gives us some layouts here. And then we can give it a headline and text and footer text and a logo. I'm just going to leave all these at the default, except we got to get a cool color. Let's go with purple. And you can write CSS. All right, let's just try this. Save changes.
Okay, cool.
What I asked for.
Nice and easy.
Easy enough. Cool.
Yeah, you could.
I would not mind having that just already built in. And like,
yeah, I was gonna say you could just include that with the export, and then just switch it on, switch it off as you need.
So is this what to select in dynamic tags to
completely unrelated?
Okay. Put user in timeout. Cool.
Yeah.
Timeout. Sorry about that. But all right, Mark Westgard here to the rescue. 301 is permanent. 302 is temporary. Coming soon mode lets visitors know a website or a new feature is launching soon, while maintenance mode indicates the site is temporarily offline for updates and fixes. Perfect. Well, I would say that works great. I wouldn't use this all the time, but when I need it, it would be nice not to have to use my janky plugin for it.
Definitely. I have some convoluted system to make that work on my side too.
Okay. Here's another one I have a function in my starter site for, is user last login. I love this to be able to see who's actually logging into the site and when they logged in last. Actually, a whole like log of what everybody did saved my ass this morning, but user last login has been helpful for me. So look, it says these people haven't logged in, but they haven't like logged out. Maybe Jonathan, can you on your end log out and then log
Sure.
back in, and I'll refresh over here?
Yeah. Oh,
I've
you know
actually
what?
used this on some of my products to like see if people have ever logged in to like access their content or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
They logged in.
Not sure if this is a bug,
Okay.
but I imagine. Oh, it's because we changed the login URL.
Okay. It's
I was
client
logged in.
hyphen login, I think.
Yeah. So there's a bug there where because the custom login URL is set, I'm already logged into WP admin, but when I click log out, it says that I did, but the admin bar was still there. So
Ooh,
I did it again, and now it successfully logged me out. But there's definitely a bug there that needs to be checked for sure.
interesting.
And I don't think I can.
Let me just turn off the custom login URL.
Yeah,
And
please.
let me turn off the maintenance mode.
That made it pretty tricky to get in. It seems like
Yeah,
there's
I've totally fucked up the site. So
yeah, there's some combinations of stuff you can do to really screw it up if you're not careful. All right. Just finding my insanely long password again real quick. Okay, and I'm logged in again.
okay, cool. So let's see. Users, all users. Look, the last time Jonathan Jernigan logged in was July 16th at 5:21 p.m., which I'm guessing I just did not set a good time on this because it is not 5:21 p.m. But perfect.
So then does the user account have a log? Did it say it would log it or just tell you the last time? Oh, maybe I misunderstood.
So I'm thinking it just shows you the last time. That's all I do on my snippet is just see like when was the last time they logged in.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll have people say like, I tried that and it didn't work. Well, no, you didn't because you never logged into the so cool.
That's perfectly valid. Yeah,
Again,
cool.
probably niche use cases, but it's there. Looks like they're having trouble with the discount code. So maybe I typed that in wrong, but I don't think so. Y'all can figure that out. All right. Duplicate pages and posts. The most annoying thing that you have to install a plugin to be able to duplicate pages and posts in WordPress. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look, here we have duplicate now, which is what I expected. Also in posts, I expect. Custom posts. I don't know if I have any. Custom post. I will say, though, there are some of them. Now I have a duplicate there, too. Cool. There are some of them because there's several of those like duplicate page and post plugins. There's some of them that do not transfer over generate blocks content well. Like, the site will be screwed up. The page will be screwed up.
Interesting.
So I don't really have a bunch of content in here to test that with, but I guess we have a privacy policy page. Let's see what it looks like. It's just text, but we'll duplicate it and see what happens. So it made a duplicate and it put us right into the editor. I want to say the other one just keeps you on that screen and adds a new draft, but it adds duplicate at the beginning. We'll do like my clients do and just have a privacy policy 2 page. Cool. Publish it. Worked fine.
Yep. Looks good.
Okay. Well, not a lot to expect out of that, but it did exactly what I asked. And I definitely have installed like the duplicate page and post. There's a Yoast one, and then there's another one. That's on a bunch of my sites for sure.
Yeah, those have like 5 million active installs. Those are crazy.
Yeah. Stratos says he's used it with Gutenberg and Bricks, and it worked no problem. Excellent.
Cool.
Good to know.
All
right. Export posts and pages. Export your posts and pages for backup or use on other platforms for data portability and easy content management. Okay, so you can go here and like export and go to pages, and you can export all your pages, right?
And it works really well.
But here we can download a CSV of this page.
Interesting. I guess because this lets you do it like one rather than the entire post type.
Maybe. So here we have the CSV file. I don't know where. Okay, there it is.
Okay.
And there's all our block content and all the metadata about the post. So I wonder
handy,
what
I guess.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say handy, I guess, if you need to export only one or a couple of them.
Yeah. So let's see. Let me just delete this one now, because we can import too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me trash both of those the privacy policy ones. Delete. Now, how do we import?
Was that a separate module?
Export, post and pages. It says export. It doesn't say import.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wouldn't you need to import it?
I would think so.
There's not an
maybe
import
just
option yet. Well, I think that would be helpful.
that makes sense.
All right, so I guess you can create a backup of your pages, but you can't then use that backup.
Interesting.
Or am I missing something?
Nope, seems like it.
Okay. All right, next, external permalinks. So this is interesting. I did click on this one when I turned all these on to see what it did, and I did not have a good use case for this, so I'm hoping you will.
Fingers crossed.
Links for external websites for better URL management. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on, and we'll go to configure, and we'll turn this on for, let's just turn it on for our custom posts, since that's a weird thing anyways.
Okay.
Okay, save changes. We go to our custom posts here. We'll add a new one. We'll call it JJ's post. And I was thinking it would be here in the URL where you can just see the permalink, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's down here. External permalink. Keep empty to use the default WordPress permalink. External permalink will override the default slug. So if I just said theadminbar.com for this JJ's post and hit publish, if I go view this on the front end,
oh, okay.
.com.
I personally, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, but why? Like, what is a good idea to use this?
The only reason I've come across recently is yet again with Pi Calendar. People throw curveballs at me every single day. Is people who have like a post on their website for an event, but the tickets are purchased through Eventbrite or somewhere else. So when they, air quotes, view the post, they just get sent to Eventbrite, for example.
So instead of setting up a bunch of redirects.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the only thing I could think of off the top of my head. Maybe there's other use cases, but I can't think of one personally for myself.
Well, if anybody here watching this has a good use case for that, put it in the chat, because I would be interested to see. I've never needed that before, but I would have had no idea how to do that.
Yeah, Tim is saying exactly what I was describing.
I've even looked at, like, when I'm creating custom post types, sometimes I don't need an actual post for that. I just need like the loop or whatever. Like, let's say you made a testimonial custom post type. I don't need an actual post for each one of the testimonials. I just need to be able to query and loop them.
Yeah.
So I've had to do that before, but all right. Open all external links in a new tab. Automatically open external links in a new tab, improving user navigation and keeping visitors on your site longer. I think there's some accessibility reasons you don't want to open external links and all your external links in a new tab. I think accessibility people will talk you out of doing that. But
what is the behavior of Amber's plugin?
No, her plugin is to give you a warning if you're opening in an external thing.
Okay.
It doesn't automatically change the link. So let's just say, if we say, let's WordPress, let's link that to https wordpress.org. And you have to click on it again and then hit edit and then hit advance and then hit show in new tab, which is so freaking annoying. Right. And then we'll just do this one to our home page. Update it. Go to the front end. Okay, so now this link, which goes to wordpress.org, should open in. Oh, no, I didn't need to make it go in a new tab, right? Because it's going to do it automatically. That's what this is saving me from doing. Right?
Oh, yeah, it must be. You're right.
I shouldn't set that. Let me redo that there. So again, this is just going to automatically make new or external URLs open in a new tab. So here we go. This one should take us in a new tab. It does. This one should not. It does not. So it does what it asks, but then you probably need to pair this with something like the little warning that you're opening up in a new tab.
Taylor had a comment in chat too.
We're planning on adding ARIA labels and icons similar to the Equalize digital plugin. Good deal. I would look up information, and I can't remember if we have it in Accessibility Weekly, if that was one of the topics she covered or not. But opening links in a new window, because I think a lot of people will say, yeah, if it's an external site, do it in a new tab. But if you're thinking about somebody that's using your website, if they're just trying to accomplish a task and you put them into a new tab, now they've lost the control of the back button, right? Now they can't go back. They have to go to a different tab and then go back, right? So it's not always the best thing to do for user experience. So think about that.
Yeah, I wonder what the common like behaviors of a user would be, because for me, I'm gonna middle mouse click it, and I know that doesn't apply to everybody if you're keyboard nabbing or whatever, but
right.
I would rather the website I'm on not control what it's going to do.
Well, see, I hate things like this. So like if I go to Cloudways, I believe does this, right? I go to Cloudways because I'm trying to log in and I click, no, they don't do it. Somebody else does it. Maybe I thought it was Cloudways. Somebody else, you go to the login page, you click login and it opens the log because their login's like here, platform.cloudways. It's somebody else that does it, but it takes you in a new tab. I'm like, well, I didn't want to leave this main site open.
Yeah.
Like, I was just going here to get to the login page. So quit opening that in a new tab. So I would guess, think about what the user is trying to do. Like if you're in the middle of a blog post and you link to an external source because it's like, if you want to read more information on XYZ, click here, and then you're continuing the blog post. Yeah, they probably want to open that in a new tab because they're going to explore that and come back, or they're going to explore that later. But if it's like, now to get started, click this button, and that's the only thing you can do on the page, there's no reason to open that in a new tab because they don't need to come back to that page.
Yeah.
It's self-serving, right? It's like, I want to keep them on my page longer, so we'll make them go in a new tab instead of like, what is best for the user?
Definitely. Will you make Taylor's comment go away?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Elijah, good point. Affiliate links. You could have affiliate links open external URL. That goes back to
the only downside there would be you'd have to have a dedicated post for that affiliate link, which maybe depending on how you want to manage it would be doable. But yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's say you set up like a loop that shows all the affiliate products you promote, and it has like their image and information about them and all that, and you're just looping all that information. But if anybody goes to the post, you just want them to click the affiliate link and go to that site. So I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Post type switcher. So I set up a custom post type just to try this. So switch the post type of your content, offering flexibility in organizing and repurposing existing posts and pages. I've needed to do this before, and there is dedicated plugin to like post type switcher. I don't know, but how does it work?
Can you bulk edit it?
Like quick edit or?
Well, yeah, I meant from right there, that edit option, which I think is the same thing as quick edit.
How do we switch the post type?
Hope you don't have to go in here. Oh, there it is.
Switcher, edit, custom post. Okay.
Ooh. Whenever I've needed to do this, I need to do like a bunch of them.
Yeah. And so now I don't even remember which post I just switched. Oh, hello world, because that was our custom post. Yeah, I would definitely be thinking about doing that from here. Like, give me these two and make them posts, like from right here.
Yeah, like with that bulk edit right there. That's how I would expect it to work. Because if I'm doing this, I don't need one. I need multiple typically. Yeah, from like an option inside of there, definitely. Right. And because you have an admin columns function, you could stick that as an admin column with inline editing, and boom, baby, you're done.
Yeah. Cool. They said awesome feedback. We can add that in. Yeah, I think that would just be, that's definitely, you're watching me use it for the first time. That's definitely where I looked for it. Because if you are doing more than one, that's kind of a pain to have to go in the post. And it is kind of funky that some of these have configure, which I like because we need to go to a configure page. But the ones that don't, it's like, okay, now figure out what you need to find. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly where to go in all these.
The shining star of that kind of thing is Perf Matters. They do an unbelievable job. Yeah. Every single option has a direct link to a doc. And it's like, that should just be the way it's done. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
and
it's very cool.
it leaves no ambiguity. They actually, Brian from Perf Matters posted on Twitter like a year and a half ago when we were starting PyCalendar, and it was just something simple like docs sell plugins, and
Mhm.
he is so right. He's so right. It was
Yeah.
just like something I've tried to emulate.
All right, post type order. Now I know I've needed this before, where you can like drag and drop the order of posts. In fact, the tab events page, if we go to tab events, because I didn't write a custom like query to bring all these posts in, I just have them going by post order, but I have to go in there and like remember which post number each one of these posts are and then change it in order to change the order, because these aren't by like the date they're published, they're the date of the event, which is just like a custom field in there. This is a mess every time I want to do it on the back end, and it's embarrassing. So cool that you can do this here and just drag and drop and not have to do what I'm doing. So let's try it. I don't think we have, we'll just turn it on for everything. Save changes. All right, custom post, all custom posts. And look, we get a little crosshair and we can just drag and drop the post order.
Cool. Yeah, that's handy.
Yeah. So again, this feels like another thing like, why doesn't WordPress just do this? I wonder if you have 500 posts, if this is laggy, but here with my 3, it works pretty great.
That's definitely handy. Yet another plugin you can tick off your list.
Yeah, because I've definitely had to install that before.
Yep.
Quick add posts. Add new posts quickly from the dashboard, enhancing productivity and allowing for rapid content updates. Let's see what that means. So it says from the dashboard. So dashboard, quick draft. Is that usually there or no?
Let me.
Never look at the dashboard.
I minimize these as soon as it loads for the very first time.
So
I minimize every single one in there.
Bucket. So let's see. Let's turn that off. Go to dashboard. It's there. So that's not it.
Turn it back on real quick.
All right. Let me reread it. Add new posts quickly from the dashboard, enhancing productivity. I mean, that is the dashboard.
It adds a new
button at the top of a post. That's not the dashboard.
Oh, I see. Go inside and yeah, there you go.
So if we had this post saved here, up here we have, you can just go to new posts. I have had to, I feel like pre-block editor, there was a way to do this somehow.
There is, it was built in.
The admin bar was at the top probably.
Well, I think there was a button, like your post title would be in kind of the upper left corner, and then right next to your post title was an add new button that was just native.
Okay. I don't hate it. It doesn't align with all this stuff, and that's making me twitch, but I like it.
I guess that duplicate button is there because you have that module turned on.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. So I would probably, if I were y'all guys, not that I did this stream to give you unsolicited feedback about your plugin, but I would change that word dashboard, because I just literally went to the dashboard.
Just editor.
Do what?
To just the word editor.
Yeah, the editor. Let me move that off the screen. All right, 404 to homepage. Redirects 404 page errors to homepage, keeping visitors engaged on your site. Let's try it. JJ, redirect it to the homepage.
There it is.
So I'm guessing at this point you never have 404 errors, so now you don't need a 404 page?
Yeah, I guess
there's plugins that do this too. I've just never used one.
There must be an argument both ways for that.
If anybody's got them, let us know in the chat.
I certainly don't have a compelling one either way.
Me and you were obviously the least qualified people to do this. Watch us test this plugin. We don't know what we're doing. All right, clean profiles. Simplifies user profiles in admin area, removing unneeded fields for efficiency.
Okay, so this one is one I am definitely keen on because the same websites I'm talking about, there are a couple of administrative users that will come in directly to a user's profile and modify custom fields, but there's a bunch of junk in there like biographical info, role, toolbar, all those kinds of crap. Well, we don't want to show them those things. So absolutely, that's a very handy one.
you know what's interesting? Some of these other ones we were able to choose like what role you were able to do this for. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just for
Yeah.
editor, just for that'd be cool to add in here. Like, you know, show this to everybody that's an admin, but if they're just a editor, like don't show them these specific things.
Definitely.
So there's an opportunity. So, okay, we changed that. We turned off admin color scheme. We turned off toolbar. We turned off biographical info. We turned off role. I don't know if that will affect, like, can you take that away from people who are admins? I don't even know what I'm logged in as. I have so many.
I mean, maybe as an admin, you would still see it, but there's still a bunch of junk in there that I would want to remove.
Yeah, but a lot of this I think is from other plugins I have, like from Yoast in here too.
Yeah, all those social profile URLs are not there natively.
Okay, I turned off the color scheme. Color scheme's gone. What else did I turn off? Toolbar? I don't know. Now there's too much shit in here.
Well, I mean, I would want, for instance, I would want to get rid of the whole application password section. I would want no third parties to be able to put stuff in there except ACF. There's a personal options.
Yoast added. That is crazy.
It's so many. Yeah.
Okay. I think room for improvement on this one to be able to like more granularly control who sees what. Because I do like the idea of people not being able to go there and screw things up. Like me and Jake did a site a while back, Jake Woods, and we ended up using the user profiles to like display the team members on the front end of the site because we wanted to show like which users on the site publish which content. So it was kind of convoluted, but now when my customer goes into the site and changes stuff and they see a lot of information that could easily screw up the front end of the site, and I wish I could hide that from them. I mean, I'm sure I probably could, but I haven't.
It's a pain. If you try to do it manually, it's a pain.
All right. Export users. This could be handy. I have some websites where like hundreds of users or thousands of users because they bought a product or whatever, to be able to back up that information would be helpful. All right, so I'm going to guess it's a bulk action. Nope, here we go. Export to CSV, apply. All right.
Easy peasy.
Only thing I'm worried about is like, does this show their password in plain text?
I would think not.
I would think not too, but let me open it off screen just in case. It not. I'm going to delete user pass just in case, because I don't know how shit works. So I deleted the user pass, but this is the CSV it downloaded. So user login, user password, email, URL if they had that, registered activation key.
That sounds dangerous.
Huh? Yeah, I know. I will delete that too, but it's now on a live stream. So, and then their display name. Okay, cool. So that'd be good for backing up your data.
Well, Stratos says the password is not saved, but the hashed password is saved. So that's why you can go into the database and change the password, and then you have to select the little MD5 hash to reset it. So,
okay. So so whatever I just showed is not going to give everybody access to the site. Great. I'm just going to delete it as soon as the stream's over anyways. So have fun. All right, where are we at next? I mean, that's good. I probably need to go back up all my users on a couple sites, because if something happened to that, like if that site was hacked and all my users got screwed up, I would be in a bad place. So that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Hide author slug. So this is one that in the example I just used, I'm actually using the author slug, but this is one that I've heard come up in security arguments. Like people can figure out the usernames on your website because they can go to the author pages, and the author pages will show the username. So let's see, that's not good. But if I go to post, I just have stuff on here. We go to Abby, boom, I open up her page. It shows her username up here in the URL, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing this just turns that off.
I wonder if then that page breaks.
So we can view this. It just
redirected you back home?
Redirected me. Oh, because I have the redirection thing back on. So let's maybe get rid of that. Redirect the 404s.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Users, view.
Oh.
Still just took me home.
That must just be how it works.
Oh, but look down at the bottom of the corner. I can't point with my mouse.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep.
But you can see down there. Well, that didn't make it any bigger, but the actual username is gone out of that URL now. So maybe just because I don't have a template set up for the author page, but cool. It got rid of the username in there. All right, on to the next.
Couple more, I think.
Oh my God, we still got a bunch more. We better hurry up.
Gotta speed this up.
Menu visibility. Tailor menu visibility by the user role, enhancing navigation and site security. I do use a plugin for this. It's on a ton of my sites. I think it's on the admin bar's website to change who can see menu items. So let's go here, menus. Open this up. I'm just going to pretend it works like the other one I use works. Okay, so we have item visible for logged in, logged out, or everyone. So the one I use has drop downs. I'm trying to think of how it all works, but you can, I think there's more options inside of it. What do I use? Do you ever use a plugin like this?
No, I mentioned earlier, I just use a function and have two separate WordPress menus.
Okay.
GeneratePress has a hook for that.
It's called if menu. I've used this for a million years. And now it's going to lie to me and tell me it doesn't exist. If menu. I'm positive that's what it's called. Menu visibility. I'm positive it's called if menu. There it is. If menu. Visibility control. I just want to compare it to what I used on this because that's what I'm used to using. Menus. Enable visibility rules.
Oh, cool.
That. And then it's show and hide if is administrator, is editor, is author, is the front page, is the single post.
Oh, that's block visibility for the menu.
Yeah. So you can change it. I think you can put you can stack conditions together and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Handy.
So I don't know why I'm showing you that during this stream, but they say here it's on Taylor's radar to add conditions to this. So there you go. There's some inspiration on that because I use this all the time. And if WP Extended did all those things, I could not use that plugin anymore.
Yeah, I noticed that it has a fair few installs, but reviews aren't the greatest. And it's been a couple months since it was updated.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Clearly it works fine, but
well, screw them.
Yeah.
All right. User switching enables swift switching between user accounts for easy role management and testing.
Now, this is cool.
I need this not all the time, but when I need it, it is absolutely like you got to have it.
Yep.
All right.
Will you take the comment off the screen?
Damn it. Thank you. I wanted to test this by hiding those admin notices. The admin notices never came back though here, did they? Well, forget it. All right, so users, if I want to switch to this client user, I just click switch to.
Nice.
I'm logged in as this person. And if I want to switch back, I can just click switch back. And
that is cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. Man, I've had to use this when I'm debugging things for client, like clients say they can't see something or whatever. Maybe it is super handy to be able to switch over.
Yeah, when I'm building those dashboard sites, I have an incognito window logged in with a subscriber account, and then sometimes you accidentally log out or your password changes or whatever. It can be such a nightmare.
Now I wonder, this also doesn't have a configure button. Does this mean if your client who's like the editor or subscriber is just logged in, they can't switch users, right? Like who has permission to switch users? I'd almost like to limit that not only to admins, but to me or to whoever's trusted to be able to do that, because there could be information you don't want people getting to.
You could demote my account real quick and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Demotion. Oh, did we hide those those functions?
Yeah. And you have to remember all these things you do to a site.
Clean user profiles. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it was role, I guess. All right, let's see.
All right, Jonathan.
I was surprised I couldn't demote myself, but that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm just going to change you to an editor. Saved. You might have to log in and log back out. I don't know.
No, I don't have that option anymore.
Okay. You did have it before though?
Yes.
Okay. So admins can do it and nobody else can do it.
Yeah, because I can't even see the user's page at all.
Okay. So that's good to know. I didn't know that without us testing it, and it was definitely helpful to have you here testing it. So maybe some notes on that would be helpful. Disable video uploads. I actually put this into my starter site about 6 months ago when my client decided to upload about 20-hour-long videos to the server somehow. So I've just limited them from being able to upload any kind of videos. So this would be handy for me. Any thoughts on that one?
Just don't do it. Turn it on.
All right. Media trash. Enable the trash facility when deleting media files. So I'm guessing like when you delete a post, it goes into the trash. That doesn't happen on media, does it? It just disappears.
Yeah, it goes away.
So if we trash this, let's refresh.
Is it in the other view, the column view? Do what?
I don't know where the trash went. Move to trash. Oh, maybe because I deleted it and didn't move it to the trash.
No, I think you clicked move to trash.
I'm just deleting the shit out of things now.
Or breaking it even more.
Okay. All right. I don't know, guys. You'll have to help me out on this one.
Well, the idea tracked, but clearly we've screwed it up somehow.
All right, SVG file upload. I've definitely turned on or uploaded the like safe SVG plugin or whatever because I use SVGs for everything I possibly can. Apparently, like there are just plain functions you can add to just turn on SVGs, but apparently because they're not getting sanitized, you don't probably want to do that. Here, what they're saying is it doesn't sound like they're being sanitized, but they're only being uploaded by logged in users. So I guess somebody can't go to like a front end submission form and upload an SVG that has malware in it. This one again, maybe admins only, or maybe select user roles. Because I guess if I had 10,000 subscribers on my site, would I want them uploading SVGs with bad stuff in them? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm curious too how the whole SVG sanitization thing works because like Generate has a function to enable SVGs, but they're oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm getting a
what I was going to say quickly though is that Generate Press has a function for SVGs, but their sort of policy is more strict. So you can't upload all SVGs, only some. So I'm curious, is there some sort of like standardized, PHP function that sanitizes SVGs? I don't know that either of us know that, but like, how does that work? Is the plugin better than, XYZ function, for instance? Maybe some documentation on that.
That is just what I've heard. Apparently my SVG is not working. I've tried to upload the same one twice. I've used that on a website, so I know that SVG is fine.
Debug mode did work though. You can see it there.
There we go. Now we were just testing debug mode. That's all. Here's another SVG. Same thing here. Function mat. I have no idea what all this is. So there you go. There's some debug for you. And they said, check the drop down trashes there. So let's go back to our library. So filter.
I've never used that drop down in my life.
Yeah, I don't think how does it work on pages? Because pages you can just
there's the tab up there.
Right up here. That's where I would have been looking for. Because if I put this in the trash, I have a link for trash now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would have looked for it too. All right. So yeah, problems with the SVG upload. Media replace allows you to seamlessly replace an image or file in your media library by uploading a new file. So this is super handy.
Very nice.
SportPixel has a plugin to do this, and I've definitely used it. All right. So let's test this out. Media replace. I'm going to go ahead and just put an image in here. And we'll just use, hey, look, it uploaded those SVGs. Those
weird.
Uploaded. Okay, so I'm going to upload this picture of this lovely couple, and we'll publish it.
And then you forgot to crop it, so it's the wrong aspect ratio, but you have to rename it before you can replace it. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
let's just say we upload a completely different one because I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But let's say this is all over the site in 50 different places and we need to replace it. We can go to media library. This was it here. Media replace.
On the right side.
Media replace. And we're going to change it out to this lady here. And we'll update it. And now if we refresh it, it should be new lady. It ain't.
Something to do with the generate blocks image?
I don't know. Let's try image. This one, media library. We'll use these feet.
Well, it swapped it in the media library. That's so strange.
Library. Feet, replace media. Media replace. We'll change with this grass. Update. Look, it looks like it's keeping the same file name because this still says Shoes Hero Optimal.
Oh.
So I wonder if there's caching. Like, I wonder if I held shift and refreshed and now it changed to this one.
Which isn't the one that you just swapped it to. Because you did the grass.
Yeah, I changed this one to the grass, but now this one's not even showing. Like, I left that one there, but see, there's this other one.
Oh, yeah.
There's just nothing there. Try uploading a picture to replace. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but the
media replace, upload.
If I already had one on the site, I would expect to be able to use that too.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have this guy.
Texas Floyd. That's actually a unfortunate band name right now.
Yeah. And it's just not working at all. I don't know, y'all. Did you save that page? I didn't save the page. I mean, I saved it originally, but yeah. Let's just start over, okay? We'll start fresh. We'll use a regular image block, right? Image. We'll just upload a brand new image. We'll use Jonathan's picture.
Oh, no, it's hideous.
All right, come on, Jonathan's picture. Upload, save.
That was a 4.8 megabyte PNG.
Yeah, no. All right. Cool. Let's not try to do this in a bunch of different tabs. We go back here. We go to media. There's JJ. We replace. Okay. We want to upload a new picture. Now, I don't think we should have to upload, but let's just try. We're going to upload this lady. Boom. Replace. Okay. Jonathan's now this lady. We get update. We go back. Was it a post or was it a page? Was it a post?
That's it right there. Yeah.
So we hit view and she's just gone. I don't know, guys. Does the core block append the timestamp? I have no idea, Taylor. You're the smarty pants that knows that. All right.
The idea is cool.
The idea is cool. I definitely use that inside that. What did I call it? The image optimization plugin I use.
Oh, yeah. Short pixel.
Yeah, short pixel media replace. All right. Quick image. Quickly and easily replace featured images in the post page list. Configure.
That's an interesting one because I would assume that would be possible with admin columns and inline editing. Maybe that would go away when that's possible.
Look, it's got a little image there. That's cool.
That is pretty neat.
I like that. I'm guessing the admin columns, you could see the featured image, but you wouldn't be able to change it inline.
Not until you enabled inline editing for that particular post type.
But they don't have inline editing, like in their version of the admin column.
Oh, true. Yes.
Crushing Pixel says, is it a WebP conversion issue? Maybe I should have used PNGs for both of them, but I can't debug that forever. So, all right. Let's see here. Disable RSS feeds. I don't think we really need to test that. Now the RSS feeds don't work. Clean dashboard. Streamlines admin dashboard by hiding unwanted elements for cleaner interface. Configure. Widget name. Welcome. We don't need that. What else is there? Is that it?
There's a bunch of other ones.
Oh.
WordPress events.
When I hit save, a bunch more came up.
Oh, weird. Yeah,
So
make them all go away.
Turn all those off. I was
Cool.
thinking it was going to hide things over here for us for some reason. Yeah, those are gone. I would love to get rid of health status and pretty links.
Yeah, I mean, do you ever use that
Look, now they're
dashboard
here.
page?
Those were not there a second ago, were they?
No, they
Okay.
were not.
Do I ever what?
Do you ever use the dashboard page for anything?
Most of mine look like this. They just
Mine too.
Just
all right.
Kind of waste of space. But
it is.
I have made some widgets before that I thought was kind of handy. Some of my sites, when you log in, it takes you to like a front end dashboard instead of this back end one. But yeah, I found this page kind of useless. All right, disable auto updates. Gain full control of your site by manually managing updates, ensuring compatibility before and applying new changes. So I'm guessing if we toggle that on, yep, all the options to auto update are gone. But I'm wondering, like, I guess I just don't know which roles can update plugins and which ones can't.
It's got to be just administrator and higher.
Yeah, but then an administrator could just come in here and turn that thing back off, right?
Yeah.
I turn auto updates on some plugins anyways. So disable blog. Transform your site into a non-blogging platform by disabling blog-related features. Let's see what happens. All right, turned on. Here's our posts. Refresh. Post is gone.
That's a curious one. So does it
type still there?
Does it get rid of like taxonomies and like category archive pages and all that kind of stuff?
I'm guessing for. See, I think I moved that hello world post. Let's see, all posts. Oh no, they're all here. So we have this media replace post. Let's go ahead and open it up. I should have opened it in a new tab. I'll open it up so it's here in our browser, and we'll go turn it off again and see what happens. Disable blog. Refresh. Blog's still there.
Interesting.
But blog's not on the back end. I mean, I've definitely made sites where I didn't need the blog functionality at all, but I just kind of left it there.
Yeah, that's not one I could envision using personally.
All right, disable comments. That's another good one. Generate Press allows you to do that with a little tick box too, but I maybe one site of mine has comments on it. Other than that, I just disable them every time.
Yep.
Classic editor. Switch back to the classic WordPress editor if preferred, offering a simpler content interface. Guess we got to test it, right? I haven't seen the classic editor in a minute, but that's the block editor. So what the hell? Let me get our post back on.
Where did it go?
Oh,
there's a configure button. Oh,
that's why.
Okay.
All right, so post, I'll post, new post. Man, that's been a minute since I've seen that.
It's hideous.
Okay, well, some people still prefer that. I do not. All right, Gutenberg widgets. Disable the Gutenberg widgets for those who prefer the classic interface. I don't like any widgets, so.
Oh, yeah. The Gutenberg widgets thing is very tough to use, yeah.
All right, hide the admin bar. You never hide the admin bar, guys. You go visit the admin bar. So we could hide it for different user roles. So we'll just hide it for everybody. See what the hell. Refresh.
Let me see if it goes away on my side.
Refresh. It's not going away.
It's gone on the front end for me, but not the back end.
Oh, yeah, that probably makes sense. It's probably on the, there we go. Same for me.
That's handy because there's a lot of cases where I use that and have to have a custom function for it.
Yep. And I was telling you before we did this, I've just like used CSS to hide the admin bar. All right, menu editor. Customize your admin menus, including reordering, hiding, or renaming menus. That's what I thought one of these other ones was going to do. That's very cool. Configure. Whew. Okay. Role or user. Very nice.
Oh, cool. Okay.
but we can just do like Jonathan. He's not sharing his screen though, so that doesn't really make sense. So let's just put it on role administrator. So administrator, they're not going to see pretty links, which is right here. Let's not let them see users, and let's not let them see ACF. Save changes. Refresh. Not for me. I wonder if you can't. Well, I guess we could just switch to a different user. So I'll just switch to client, and we'll just turn all kinds of shit off for the client. The client can't see anything.
They can see literally nothing.
Okay, saved. Hopefully I still have user type switching on here. So client, switch to. I know I turned, oh, sorry, you're not allowed to access this page.
That is sometimes how it works.
Okay.
When you're using a function, for sure.
Interesting.
That's a curious one.
I would almost want to just like, they can't even see it.
Just make the whole admin bar go away. Yeah. Or whatever that sidebar is called.
Yes, and Jason, it is possible. You just go in here. Once you've configured this to your liking, you go into tools, you go into export settings, and you can either export with your snippets code or without them and hit export. That'll download a file for you, and then you can go import that into sites. So that is a nice portable way.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got through all of them, and we have been going for quite some time here, sir. So let's go back to just me and you on screen, and let's debrief. What'd you think?
Very cool. I think the features that I'm most excited about are kind of coming soon. The admin columns, inline editing, if that's there, I'm going to use this on every single site. Once I started using the inline editing for admin columns, it's so handy. Sometimes you need to go, quickly fix a mistyped permalink, and you don't have to go load the post, then edit the permalink and then update. You can do it in just one simple click. And then for more complicated sites, if you have a user profile and need to edit a few pieces of data about them, that's just so fast and easy. And then other little utilities, customizing the login page and SVG, safe upload, stuff like that. It's going to eliminate 3, 4, 5 custom functions, custom plugins, or not custom plugins, but third-party plugins.
Right.
Simplify the experience a lot. And then some of the things that are just difficult to do manually, like the choosing what users can see in their sidebar, for example. We can make that kind of stuff go away. Tons of little things that add up to be really, really nice in this.
Yeah. I kind of feel like here's what I would envision happens. I install this on a site and tweak a few of these things and get used to using them on that site. And as soon as I go to a site that doesn't have that, I'm going to be so annoyed that it doesn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there are things in here, like I said, as we went throughout this, that like the menu visibility, this and that, like I am doing that on a bunch of different sites all the time. Not on every site every time, but if it was just already always there when I needed it, that would be pretty handy. And the fact that you can turn everything off and on, I would probably stick all of this in my starter site, configure it just the way I want it in my starter site, and then it would be duplicated into every new install. So it would be just what I want inside of there. I know Dan just announced last week that Taylor Drayson has joined the team there at WP Extended. We're big Taylor Drayson fans, both you and I are. So I'm sure that's going to be helpful too in them speeding up development of everything and kickstarting some of these ideas in there. So I'm excited to see where it goes from there.
Likewise, yeah. Tons of things that should just be native that I'm happy there's, multiple plugins addressing. So really awesome. I think the combined effect of, like I said, all the little things is hugely advantageous and definitely something I'm going to end up using probably.
Yeah. And I know we'll wrap it up and get out of here. I know a lot of people asked for me, like if we're going to compare this to I forget what it's called, but ASE site, our ASE plugin that does similar functionality here. I've never used it. From the screenshots I saw, I thought WP Extended looked a whole lot nicer, and I'm vain like that. Like I want it to look like it's nice and designed, and the interface in WP Extended looks really nice. But mostly, like Dan's been in the admin bar for a long time. He's a super nice guy. He's always been really helpful. Taylor joining the team is awesome. So, you know, I like supporting people that I like. So for me, I'm not even really interested in comparing it to another one. There's probably features in the other one that are better than this and vice versa. So figure out what works best for you. I don't want to tell anybody what they have to go use because I don't really care what you use. Use whatever makes you happy.
Totally agreed.
Excellent. Kumbaya.
Plant that flag.
Well, I took an hour and 40 minutes of your time officially right now. So I guess we'll wrap this up.
We killed a lot of birds with one stone, and I'm excited to see where this plugin goes. So
yeah, I am too.
Time well spent.
Absolutely. And I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I know you had to watch us struggle through some of this when we didn't know what we were doing, but we got there eventually.
Hopefully it saved you some time because now you don't have to fumble through the things that we did.
Exactly. Now you can get right to those settings every time. Sweet. Well, y'all go check out Jonathan's channel if you haven't. Jonathan, I appreciate you coming on and fiddle farting around with me today. And hopefully you can wrap up the rest of your day here pretty soon.
Always a good time rooting and tooting with you.
That's right. All right. Talk to y'all later.
Oh, that was